You gave your son everything, and he still called you irrelevant? That's what my son said, after I poured $60,000 of my retirement savings into his wedding and wasn't even invited. Turns out he and his fiancée used the money, not for the wedding, but to bail out his failing startup. And they were planning to silence me if I ever spoke up. I'm Evelyn. I gave up my art career, my youth, my savings, all to raise a family that ended up erasing me. But in just one weekend, I uncovered the truth, reclaimed my money, and exposed them, on the microphone right in front of their guests. You'll see how I rebuilt my life, my family, and my worth on my own terms. My 12-year-old granddaughter found a note in my son's car that said, "Transfer funds. Keep mom out." That was the moment I stopped crying and started fighting. If you've ever felt invisible in your own family, don't scroll past this. Because if I had stayed quiet, they would have erased me completely. Before I take you into everything that unfolded, can I ask, where are you listening from right now? Are you sitting in your kitchen, curled up on the couch, or maybe just trying to unwind after a long day? Leave me a comment below and tell me how you're feeling. I read every word, and sometimes your stories inspire the next one I tell. Let's take this journey together. I poured my heart and savings into Ryan's wedding, but their laughter never included me. Why am I always on the outside? My dining table is buried under stacks of invitation samples, each one a creamy white promise of joy I'm starting to doubt. It's April 2024, and the soft spring light filters through my suburban New Jersey curtains, casting delicate shadows that feel like whispers of my fading hope. The distant hum of a lawnmower drifts in, mingling with the rustle of papers as I sift through wedding budgets. A coffee shop's to-go cup sits abandoned, its bitter scent clinging to the air. I've spent 30 years building this family, but today, my efforts feel like scribbles on someone else's canvas. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and I've given everything, my art dreams, my savings, my heart, to my kids, Ryan and Lauren. Ryan's wedding is next month, and I've poured $60,000 into it, every cent from my retirement fund. I want it perfect for him and Jessica, his fiancée. But as I sit here, my fingers tracing the edges of a floral invitation, a quiet ache settles in my chest. They don't see me. Not really. The front door swings open and Ryan strides in with Jessica, their voices bright and careless. "Mom, we need a bigger venue," Ryan says, his eyes glued to his phone. He's 35, all sharp jaw and sharper ambition, but his dismissal stings like it did when I bailed him out of college debt a decade ago. Jessica, 34, tosses her sleek ponytail, her planner open. "Yeah, the guest list's ballooning," she adds, not looking up. "Handle it, okay?" I nod, my throat tight. "I just want it perfect," I say, but my voice barely carries. Ryan's phone pings, and he's already tapping away. "You don't get how weddings work now, Mom," he says, a subtle jab that lands like a pinprick. Jessica glances at him, a flicker of agreement in her eyes, and I feel smaller, like I'm fading into the wallpaper. I've always been the one to fix things, Ryan's debts, family dinners, scraped knees. But today, I'm just the bank. Duty blinds love, I think. My fingers brushing an old photo album tucked under the invitations, its worn leather hinting at memories they've forgotten. The door opens again and Lauren rushes in, her 12-year-old daughter, Mia, trailing behind. Lauren, 32, looks harried, her dark curls escaping a messy bun. "Sorry, Mom, Mia's a handful today," she says, barely meeting my eyes. I force a smile, remembering the sting of missing her high school graduation for a double shift to pay bills. That rift still lingers, unspoken. Mia, bright-eyed and loyal, runs to me, her drawing clutched tight. "Look, Grandma," she beams, showing a crayon sketch of us baking together. My heart lifts. She's my joy, the one who still sees me. Jessica snaps, "We're busy, kid." Her sharp tone cuts, and Mia's smile falters. I pull Mia close, my hand smoothing her hair. "She's my joy," I say softly, but Jessica's already turned away, whispering to Ryan about keeping it tight. Lauren fidgets, distracted, and I tuck Mia's drawing into my pocket, my heart heavy. The weight of their indifference presses harder, like a bruise I can't ignore. Diane Washington, my best friend since we were 20, arrives next, her heels clicking on the hardwood. At 56, she's all wit and warmth, her dark eyes catching my strain. "Weddingzilla alert," she jokes, nodding at Ryan and Jessica. She's been through her own family battles, estranged from her son for years, and her voice softens. "You're more than their wallet, Ev," she says, squeezing my arm. I want to believe her, but my kids are my world. "They're my kids," I murmur, my voice cracking. Hal, my husband of 30 years, sits in the corner, his newspaper crinkling. At 58, he's distant, his mind still on the business he built while I gave up my art career to support him. He doesn't look up, his silence another weight. Ryan whispers something to Jessica, their heads close, and I catch the word budget. My chest tightens. Am I just their wallet? Ever felt like the people you gave everything to? Suddenly forgot who you were? What she sees next will cut deeper than silence. If you're still with me, drop a 5 in the comments, because this part might just break your heart. Diane's words echo, urging me to see my worth, but the ache of being unseen grows sharper. As Ryan and Jessica leave, their laughter fading down the hall, my phone buzzes. I glance at the screen and my breath catches. Ryan's text, sent an hour ago, glares at me. "You won't be joining us. My wife prefers to keep it only family." My hands shake, the words slicing through me. Family? I've given them everything. My dreams, my savings, my love. The room spins, the lawnmowers hum, now a dull roar in my ears. Did I raise them, or did they erase me? I clutch the phone, my heart splintering. A receipt slips from my purse, fluttering to the floor. I pick it up, my eyes scanning the words. A luxury hotel, $5,000, not on the wedding plan. My fingers tremble, the paper crinkling as I stare, the ache in my chest now a spark of something sharper. Suspicion. Ryan's text stings like a slap. Only family. How could my son cast me out after all I've given? I sit on my living room couch, the dim lamplight casting long shadows across the faded floral cushions. The evening air carries the sweet scent of apple pie from my farmer's market haul, bags still scattered on the counter, but the warmth feels hollow. My phone buzzes again, Ryan's words glaring. "You won't be joining us. My wife prefers to keep it only family." My hands tremble, tears blurring the screen. I've poured $60,000 into his wedding, every cent from my retirement savings, and now I'm not family. The distant hum of traffic outside my New Jersey home feels like a pulse, mocking my racing heart. I clutch the phone, my throat tight. That receipt from earlier, tucked in my purse, nags at me. A luxury hotel, $5,000, not on the wedding plan. It's probably nothing, but Ryan's past emergencies flash in my mind. The college debt I paid off, the car loan I covered. I gave him everything, my art dreams shelved to keep this family afloat. My fingers fumble as I dial Diane, my best friend, my voice breaking. "They don't want me there, Diane," I say, tears spilling. "Ryan's text, it says I'm not family." Her voice crackles through, firm and warm, like she's been through this herself. "That's not family, Ev. Find out why." I swallow hard, her words sparking something sharp beneath the hurt. "I gave him everything," I whisper. "Then take it back," she says, her tone fierce, protective, like when she told me about her own son's estrangement years ago. The phone beeps as I set it down, my sobs soft but heavy, echoing in the quiet room. I wipe my eyes, the receipt crumpled in my hand. Hal shuffles in, his newspaper tucked under his arm, his gray hair catching the lamplight. At 58, he's still lost in his business world, the one I supported by giving up my paints and canvases. "What's wrong now?" he asks, his voice gruff, barely glancing up. "Ryan texted. They don't want me at the wedding," I say, my voice raw. He shrugs, settling into his recliner. Don't overthink it, Ev. Ryan's just stressed. His dismissal stings, like he's forgotten the years I carried us both. I dig through my purse, frustration rising, the receipt catching my eye again. This hotel, it's not for the wedding, I say, holding it up. Hal sighs, his newspaper rustling. Let it go, Ev, he says, his tone rake system. Tone flat, uninterested. I snatch the receipt, my fingers trembling. I can't, I murmur, my voice barely a whisper, the hurt sinking deeper. The purse rustles as I shove it back inside, my heart pounding with questions I'm not ready to face. The front door creaks open, and Diane steps in, her heels clicking firmly on the hardwood, her dark eyes scanning me with concern. She's 56, all sharp wit and sharper intuition. Her own family battles, years without her son, making her my anchor. Ev, you look like you've seen a ghost, she says, tossing her scarf on the couch. I hand her the receipt, my voice shaking. Follow the money, Ev, she says, her tone strategic, like a coach prepping me for battle. I hesitate, Hal's indifference still burning, but her words cut through. You're stronger than this hurt, she says, her hand on mine, warm and steady. Am I ask, my voice small, the ache of Ryan's words raw. Truth cuts deeper than silence, I think, my suspicion growing like a weed in my chest. As Diane heads to the kitchen, promising coffee and a plan, Mia's small figure darts in, her 12-year-old energy a burst of light. She's Lauren's daughter, my loyal shadow, her eyes bright with love for her grandma's stories. Grandma, I found this in Dad's car, she whispers, slipping me a crumpled note, her voice low like she's sharing a secret. I unfold it, my heart pounding, scrawled in Ryan's handwriting, transfer funds, keep Mom out. The words hit like a punch, confirming my fears. My hands shake, the paper crinkling, my hurt now laced with a sharp edge of suspicion. Was I their mother or just their bank? I clutch the note, my breath catching. My phone buzzes again, an email notification from Ryan's account, left open on my laptop upstairs. My heart races, the apple pie scent now cloying. The traffic hum a distant roar as I brace for what's next. Mia's note burns in my pocket, a secret I wasn't meant to find. What lies are they weaving? I grip the steering wheel, my knuckles white, as I pull into the banquet hall's parking lot in suburban New Jersey. The air hums with slow jazz from a speaker inside, mingling with the scent of floral arrangements wafting through the open doors. The hall buzzes with vendors setting up for Ryan's wedding, their chatter a stark contrast to the tension coiling in my chest. Clinking glasses echo, each sound sharpening the ache of that text. You won't be joining us. My wife prefers to keep it only family. I've funded this wedding, $60,000 from my retirement savings, and now I'm not family? Mia's note, scrawled with Ryan's words, transfer funds, keep Mom out, sits heavy, pushing me here, uninvited, to face him. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and my kids, Ryan and Lauren, were my world. But Ryan's betrayal, his text, that hotel receipt, has cracked something inside me. I step into the hall, my purse clutched tight, the note inside like a grenade. Ryan stands by a table, flipping through a vendor's binder, his 35-year-old frame all confidence, his business failures hidden behind a slick smile. Jessica, his fiancée, hovers nearby, her 34-year-old poise sharp as she points at floral swatches, her ambition to control this wedding clear. I've bailed Ryan out before, college debt, car loans, but this feels different, darker. I approach, my voice steady despite my racing heart. Ryan, we need to talk about the budget, I say, my fingers brushing the note. He barely looks up, his eyes narrowing. Why are you here, Mom? You're irrelevant now. His voice cuts, loud enough for vendors to turn, their gasps slicing through the jazz hum. He pushes my arm, a sharp nudge to usher me out, his touch cold and dismissive. My knees wobble, but I catch Mia's wide eyes from across the room, her 12-year-old face pale. The humiliation burns, my sacrifices, years of setting aside my art dreams, mocked in front of strangers. "I paid for this!" I snap, my voice trembling, but Ryan's already turning away, his smirk a blade. Jessica steps forward, her ponytail swinging, her smile thin. "This is family only, Evelyn," she says, her tone dripping with control, like I'm an intruder in the life I funded. Mia, my loyal granddaughter, darts from Lauren's side, her small arms wrapping around me. "I hate him, Grandma," she whispers, her voice a soft sob, barely audible over the vendor murmurs. My hurt hardens, Ryan's college bailouts flashing in my mind, thousands I gave thinking it was love. "This is my home," I tell Jessica, my voice firm despite the ache, my hand squeezing Mia's. Love endures where respect fails, I think, my heart a tangled mix of pain and defiance. I retreat to the parking lot, Mia trailing me, her sneakers crunching on gravel. The car horns in the distance feel like a warning, but Mia's hug steadies me. "You're the best, Grandma," she says, her eyes fierce with loyalty, like when we share bedtime stories. "I have to be," I reply, my voice low, a spark of defiance igniting. I vow to find the truth for her, for me. The note in my pocket feels heavier, Ryan's betrayal clearer. I slide into my car, my hands shaking as I open Ryan's laptop, left in my back seat from a recent visit. An email notification glows, and I click, heart racing. It details a transfer to Carter Ventures. $5,000, not for the wedding. The screen blurs, my breath catching. How could my son turn my love into shame? The jazz from the hall fades, the gravel still crunching under Mia's pacing steps outside. My phone buzzes again, the email's subject line glaring. Carter Ventures transfer confirmation. My fingers hover, suspicion now a fire in my chest. The email's numbers scream betrayal, but my heart demands answers. How could Ryan hide this from me? I sit at Diane's kitchen table, the sizzle of grilled chicken filling the air, a local diner vibe with colorful mugs stacked by the sink. Soft jazz hums from a radio, its rhythm steadying my trembling hands. The suburban New Jersey evening wraps the room in a cozy glow, but the email printout in front of me, labeled Carter Ventures Transfer Confirmation, burns like a brand. $5,000 diverted from the wedding I funded with my retirement savings. Ryan's past emergencies flood back. College debt, car loans, my art dreams shelved to cover them. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and my son's betrayal, his text, that hotel receipt, Mia's note, has turned my hurt into something sharper, angrier. Diane Washington, my best friend, leans across the table, her dark eyes fierce at 56. She's been through this, estranged from her son for years, and her wit cuts through my fog. I slide the email printout to her, my voice sharp. "They used my money, Diane, for his failing business." She scans it, quirking an eyebrow. "Ryan's no genius crook, Ev," she quips, her tone biting. "Dig deeper. You're not their doormat." Her words, fueled by her own regrets, hit hard. I sip my coffee, the mug clinking against the table, my anger rising. "I'm done being silent," I say, my voice steady for the first time today. The jazz hums low, underscoring my resolve. Truth burns brighter than hurt, I think. My fingers tightening on the printout as I stare at it, the numbers blurring through my tears. The back door swings open and Lauren rushes in, her dark curls loose, her 32-year-old face etched with guilt. She's my daughter, but we've been distant since I missed her high school graduation, working double shifts to pay bills. "Mom, I'm so sorry about Ryan," she says, her voice breaking, soft sniffles filling the quiet. She sits, her chair creaking, and confesses, "Jessica pressured me to stay quiet about the wedding costs. I knew something was off." Her words sting, deepening the betrayal, but her eyes, wet with regret, soften me. "I blamed you for missing my graduation, Mom," she adds, her voice small. "I was wrong." My heart aches, but I reach for her hand. "We're in this now," I say, my tone firm yet gentle. "I should have stood up sooner," she murmurs, tears falling. Start now, I reply, squeezing her hand, my anger channeling into purpose. The jazz hums, a steady pulse as I hug Lauren, my resolve hardening. Diane leans forward, strategizing. Check Ryan's old desk, Ev. He's careless with secrets, she says, her voice urgent, drawing from her own battles. I nod, my anger fueling me. They won't hide from me, I say, my words a vow. The trio of us, Diane, Lauren, and me, feels like a lifeline, our plan to dig deeper binding us. The radio crackles with static, Diane's firm steps echoing as she pours more coffee. Hit them where it hurts. Truth, she says, her eyes gleaming. I will, I reply, my voice a low growl, the grilled chicken sizzle now a backdrop to my determination. I stand ready to search, my heart pounding with purpose. At home, I head to Ryan's old room, the desk cluttered with forgotten papers. My fingers sift through receipts, my breath catching as I find a hidden letter, tucked beneath a stack. I unfold it, heart pounding, the paper crisp in my hands. It reads, Use Mom's money for Carter Ventures. She'll never know. Ryan's handwriting, unmistakable, slices through me. Can I trust my family or only my heart? The words blur, my anger afire now as I clutch the letter, ready to confront the betrayal. The letter's words sear my soul. Use Mom's money. How could my son steal from me? I stand in my home office, the midnight silence heavy, broken only by the soft hum of a vintage radio on my desk. Wedding files clutter the space, receipts and vendor contracts spilling across the oak surface, their edges curling like my fraying hope. The dim glow of a desk lamp casts shadows, mirroring the anger burning in my chest. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and the letter in my trembling hands, Ryan's scrawl confessing he diverted my wedding funds to his failing business, cuts deeper than his text ever could. I've bailed him out before, college debt and car loans, my art dreams sacrificed to keep him afloat. Now, this betrayal feels like a theft of my heart. I clutch the letter, my hands shaking, the paper rustling in the quiet. My phone sits beside me, still open to the email about Carter Ventures, a business I never knew existed. I dial Diane, my best friend, my voice quaking. They stole from me, Diane, I say, the words spilling out, heavy with betrayal. At 56, Diane's been through her own family wars, estranged from her son for years, and her voice crackles through, urgent. Show them who you are, Ev, she says, her tone protective, pushing me like a coach before a fight. Find more proof. My breathing steadies, but my anger flares. The radio's static a faint buzz in my ears. My own son, I whisper, the hurt twisting into something hotter, fiercer. The phone beeps as I set it down, my hand slamming the letter onto the desk, the sound sharp in the stillness. Betrayal fuels strength, I think, my resolve hardening like steel. Alone now, I rifle through Ryan's old files in the desk drawer, my heart racing. The creak of the drawer echoes, papers shuffling as I dig deeper, my mind replaying the years I gave up painting to fund his emergencies. $60,000 for his wedding, my retirement savings, and they used it for their own gain. I imagine their smug faces, Ryan's slick confidence, Jessica's controlling smirk, and my anger surges, a fire I can't douse. My fingers pause on a worn folder, my breath catching as I recall the nights I worked late to cover his debts, my easel gathering dust. I gave up my art for them, I murmur to the empty room, my voice bitter, the words swallowed by the radio's hum. The betrayal sinks in, heavy as the files in my hands, each one a reminder of what I've lost. I pause, a faint sound catching my ear. Ryan's phone, left behind from his last visit, buzzing softly on the desk. My pulse quickens as I grab it, the screen glowing. A recording app is open, and I press play, my fingers trembling. Jessica's voice, sharp and clipped, spills out. We used her money. She can't know. My breath catches, the phone clicking as I replay it, her words a cold confirmation of their scheme. My anger peaks, a roar in my chest, and I vow to myself, no more silence. I'll make them face this, every lie exposed. The radio hums, its static a faint echo of my resolve, the midnight silence amplifying my focus. Did I fund their dreams? Or their lies? The question burns as I grip the phone, the recording still playing, Jessica's voice a loop of betrayal. A sharp knock on the door jolts me, Ryan's voice slicing through. "What are you doing in there, Mom?" My heart races, the letter and phone heavy in my hands, my anger now a fire ready to blaze. Ryan's knock jolts me, his voice cold as the recording loops. She can't know. How much does he suspect I've found? I stand frozen in my home office, Jessica's voice echoing from Ryan's phone, admitting they used my wedding funds for their business. The midnight silence presses in, the vintage radios hum a faint pulse against my racing heart. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and my anger burns hot, fueled by Ryan's betrayal, his text, the receipt, the letter. My sacrifices, from college bailouts to shelved art dreams, feel like ashes now. I slip the phone into my pocket, my hands trembling, and step toward the door just as Ryan bursts in. "You're snooping, Mom," he snaps, grabbing his phone from my hand, his 35-year-old face twisted with panic. His financial pressures, his failing Carter ventures, have made him desperate, but his aggression cuts deep. "You stole my money," I retort, my voice sharp, shaking with rage. "You don't get business," he deflects, his tone biting, generational arrogance dripping. "Stay out of it!" He storms out, the door slamming, the sound echoing like a gunshot. I'm left shaken, but my anger surges, a fire I can't contain. I step into my backyard seeking calm, the dawn light glinting off dew-soaked grass. A neighbor's lemonade stand sits brightly in the distance, kids' laughter floating over, a stark contrast to my turmoil. Birds chirp softly, and I clutch the letter, my resolve rooting deeper. Truth binds those who see it, I think, my breath steadying. Lauren's car pulls up and she steps out, her 32-year-old face etched with guilt. Our rift, me missing her high school graduation for work, still lingers, but her eyes are wet, remorseful. "Mom, I let you down," she says, her voice breaking, soft sniffles blending with the grass rustling under her feet. I knew Jessica was hiding something about the wedding costs, but I was scared. Her admission stings, deepening the betrayal like a knife twisting. "Like after my graduation," she adds, her voice small. "I blamed you." My heart aches, but I stand firm. "Help me now," I say, my tone steady but kind. She nods, tears falling, her commitment clear. "I should have spoken up," she says, her voice cracking. "Do it now," I reply, my hand on her shoulder, anger channeling into purpose. The dawn breeze carries the scent of lemonade, grounding me as my resolve grows. Hal joins us, drawn by our voices, his gray hair catching the early light. At 58, he's been distant, lost in the business I supported by giving up my art career. His eyes soften, regret flickering. "I ignored your dreams, Ev," he says, his voice low, recalling my sacrificed paintings. "I see you now." His awakening sparks hope, and I nod, my voice firm. "Then stand with me." He agrees, his hand brushing mine, a rare warmth. The kids' laughter from the lemonade stand fades, and I feel a shift, my anger rooting into resolve to confront Ryan and Jessica at the wedding. "I'm in it now," I say, my words a vow, the breeze cool against my skin. Later, alone, I notice Jessica's purse, left behind from a recent visit. My fingers tremble as I open it, finding a diary entry tucked inside. Carter Ventures funded by Evelyn's savings. My heart races, the paper crisp in my hands, another nail in their betrayal. Will my family stand with me or against me? The question burns as I read, the words searing. I step back into the backyard, the dawn now bright, and overhear Jessica's voice on a call outside. If Evelyn talks, we're done. My resolve hardens, a fire ready to blaze. Jessica's call echoes in my ears. If Evelyn talks, we're done. My anger hardens into resolve. I stand in my living room, the midday sun streaming through the windows, glinting off the family photo wall, a gallery of memories now tainted by betrayal. The air feels thick, the silence broken by the faint rustle of papers on the coffee table, remnants of the wedding I funded with my retirement savings. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and the diary entry I found in Jessica's purse, detailing how they siphoned my money for Ryan's failing Carter ventures, has turned my hurt into a fire. Ryan's entitled past, those college bailouts I covered, looms large, warning of his desperation. The front door slams open and Ryan storms in, his 35-year-old face flushed with panic. "What are you doing with my stuff, Mom?" he demands, spotting the diary in my hand. His financial pressures have made him reckless, and I meet his glare, my voice steady. "You stole my savings for your business," I say, thrusting the diary forward. His eyes narrow and he snatches it, his fingers brushing my cherished photo album on the table. "You're stuck in the past, Mom!" he shouts, grabbing the album and tearing its pages, throwing them at me. "This means nothing." The paper rips, a jagged sound, the album thudding to the floor. My heart lurches, those photos, Christmases, birthdays, my kids' smiles, scattered like ash. "You're tearing our family apart," I cry, my voice raw, tears stinging as I clutch a torn picture of Ryan as a boy. The door bursts open again and Diane rushes in, her 56-year-old frame bristling with fury. Her own estrangement from her son fuels her fire. "You're pathetic, Ryan," she snaps, her voice cutting through Mia's sobs as Lauren pulls her 12-year-old daughter close. Lauren, 32, her face tight with anger, shields Mia, who cries, "Stop it, Dad!" My resolve hardens, the sight of Mia's distress, her loyalty to me, her love for my bedtime stories, stoking my determination. "I'm done protecting you," I tell Ryan, my voice a low growl, the footsteps of Diane and Lauren echoing as they stand by me. Ryan glares, his jaw set, and storms out, the door slamming. I kneel, gathering torn photos, my tears falling, the rustle of paper a faint echo of my breaking heart. Broken memories fuel courage, I think, my hands trembling. Mia breaks free from Lauren, her small arms wrapping around me. "Don't let him win, Grandma," she whispers, her voice soft but fierce, her eyes wet. I nod, my throat tight, her loyalty a lifeline. Diane and Lauren huddle close, Diane's voice firm. "You've lost her, Ryan," she calls after his retreating figure, then turns to me. "Crash the reception, Ev. Show them." Lauren, her guilt over our past rift, me missing her graduation, driving her, nods. "We'll help you, Mom." I stand, clutching a torn photo, my heart set. "They'll hear me," I say, my resolve unwavering, Mia's sniffles grounding me. Lauren's anger at Ryan mirrors my own, her support a bridge to our healing. As they leave, I pick up Ryan's phone, left behind in his haste. A text from Jessica glows. "Silence her at the reception." My fingers tighten, my heart racing. Can a mother's love survive such hate? I hear Ryan outside muttering, "She won't ruin us," his voice low, a threat in the midday air. Ryan's muttering fuels my fire. "She won't ruin us." I'll ruin their lies with the truth. I sit at Diane's kitchen table, the evening air thick with the scent of blueberry muffins baking, their warmth a stark contrast to the cold text I found on Ryan's phone. "Silence her at the reception." Diane's vibrant New Jersey home glows under soft lights, a jazz tune humming from the radio, calming my nerves, but not my resolve. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and my anger has hardened into something bold, unshakable. The necklace I gave Jessica, a family heirloom from my mother, rests heavy in my pocket, a symbol of the family I thought we were, now poised for return. I've sacrificed everything, my art career, my retirement savings, for Ryan's wedding, only to be cast out. Tonight, with my allies, I'm planning to crash that reception and expose their betrayal. I slide Jessica's text across the table to Hal, Diane, Lauren, and Mia, my hands steady despite my racing heart. Hal, 58, his gray eyes soft with regret, grips my hand. He's been distant, lost in the business I helped build by giving up my paints. But now he's here. "I ignored your strength too long, Ev," he says, his voice thick, the weight of my sacrificed art career heavy between us. "Stand with me now," I reply, my tone firm. Diane, 56, her wit sharpened by her own estrangement from her son, leans forward. "Crash the reception, Ev. Show them the letter," she says, her voice bold, strategic. The muffin tray clanks as she pulls it from the oven, the jazz hum steadying us. Lauren, 32, her dark curls framing a determined face, nods, her guilt over our past rift, me missing her graduation, fueling her loyalty. Mia, 12, her eyes bright with hope, clings to my side, her love for my bedtime stories making her my hero. "You can do this, Grandma," she says, her voice a spark. The oven timer dings and I feel my resolve peak, my heart racing as I clench the necklace. If it were your child plotting to silence you, could you still call that love? What happens next nearly broke me, but it also woke me up for good. If you're still here, drop a 6 in the comments so I know you're walking through this moment with me. The front door bursts open and Ryan storms in, his 35-year-old frame tense with desperation. His failing business has made him reckless. "You're nothing to us," he shouts, his voice slicing through the jazz, his eyes wild as he spots the phone. He shoves my shoulder, hard enough to make me stumble, the force shocking Mia, who gasps. Lauren snaps, "Get out, Ryan!" her voice fierce, protective. I steady myself, my anger blazing into boldness. "You already ruined everything," I say, my voice low, unwavering. Ryan glares, his jaw tight, and storms out, the door slamming, the sound echoing like a final break. Mia clings to me, her small hands trembling, and I stroke her hair, her hope fueling my courage. Diane's eyes gleam victorious as she pours coffee, the mugs clinking. Courage rises where love endures, I think, my resolve afire now. We gather around the table, Lauren and Mia helping me draft my speech. Mia's voice is soft but fierce. "You're our real family, Grandma. Make them listen." I nod, my heart swelling. "I will, for us," I say, my pen scratching as I write, the words flowing with purpose. Lauren, her loyalty a bridge over our past distance, adds, "Say it loud, Mom." Diane raises her mug, toasting, "To truth." The clinking glasses ring out, a vow of unity. I slip the necklace from my pocket, its silver chain catching the light. "I'm returning this to Jessica," I say, my voice steady. "It's not hers anymore." My allies nod, their faces proud, the jazz hum a backdrop to our plan. I'm nervous, my stomach twisting, but their support makes me bold, ready to face the reception. As we finalize the speech, I check Ryan's phone again, left behind in his rush. A voicemail glows, and I play it, my breath catching. Jessica's voice sharp and cold. If she speaks, humiliate her. My fingers tighten around the necklace, my resolve ironclad. Will my voice reclaim my place? I stand, heart pounding, and step toward the door, the banquet hall waiting. Outside, I spot Ryan's silhouette at the entrance, his presence a challenge I'm ready to meet. Ryan's silhouette looms at the hall's entrance, but my resolve is stronger. Their lies end tonight. I step into the banquet hall, the wedding reception in full swing, chandeliers glittering above tables draped in white linen. The string quartet's violin hum weaves through the clink of champagne glasses, the festive mood clashing with the fire in my chest. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and the letter and diary, proof of Ryan and Jessica's theft of my wedding funds, burn in my hand. I've given everything, my retirement savings, my art dreams, only to be cast out. The necklace in my pocket, a family heirloom I gave Jessica, feels heavy, a symbol of the family they betrayed. My heart pounds, but I'm bold, ready to shatter their lies. The crowd parts as I move forward, uninvited, my heels clicking on the polished floor. Ryan, 35, spots me, his face paling with panic, his failing business driving his desperation. He steps in front of me, grabbing my wrist, his grip tight. "You owed me," he shouts, his voice cutting through the violin's hum, guests gasping. Jessica, 34, her face twisted with fury, hisses, "This is our day! Leave now!" Her pride, her need to control this narrative, fuels her venom. Their aggression, verbal and physical, stings. But I stand tall. "You ruined us," I say, my voice steady, wrenching my wrist free. The crowd murmurs, the quartet faltering, a violin screech piercing the air. I push past Ryan, seizing the microphone from the bandstand, my hands trembling but my resolve ironclad. I face the sea of guests, their eyes wide, the buzz of whispers rising. "I paid for this wedding," I say, my voice ringing out clear and unwavering. $60,000 from my savings, but Ryan and Jessica stole it for their business. I hold up the letter, reading its damning words. "Use Mom's money for Carter Ventures. She'll never know." Gasps ripple through the room, glasses clinking as hands falter. Ryan shouts, "She's lying!" his voice desperate, cracking. Jessica steps forward, her eyes blazing. "Stop her!" she snaps, her control slipping. I keep going, my voice steady, the microphone feedback squealing briefly. "This is your truth, Ryan," I say, locking eyes with him. Truth shatters silence, I think, my anger transforming into triumph as the room reels. Hal, 58, steps forward, his hand on my shoulder, his regret over my sacrificed art career now pride. "Let her speak," he says, his voice firm, steadying me. Lauren, 32, her face fierce with loyalty, stands beside me, her guilt over our past rift, me missing her graduation, fueling her support. "We're with you, Mom," she says, her voice clear, cutting through the murmurs. Diane, 56, her own estrangement from her son giving her fire, grins from the crowd, cheering. "Go, Ev!" Mia, 12, my loyal granddaughter, claps, her voice bright. "Go, Grandma!" Her love for my stories, her hero worship, lifts me. Ryan lunges for the letter, his desperation raw, but Jessica pulls him back, her face flushed with humiliation. A paper slips from his pocket, a bank statement, its numbers matching the letter's theft. The crowd whispers, a guest snatching it up, eyes wide. Chaos erupts, glasses clinking, murmurs swelling as the quartet resumes, faltering. "I'm not done," I say, my voice a vow, my triumph rising. Have I ever been enough? The question echoes as I pull the letter away from Ryan's reach, my heart racing. The bank statement, now in a guest's hand, catches another's eye, the truth spreading like wildfire. "You'll hear it all," I vow, my voice ringing. The violin hum a faint echo as I brace for the final stand. Ryan's bank statement lies exposed, his lies crumbling. My voice will finish this. I grip the microphone in the banquet hall, the wedding reception frozen around me, chandeliers dimmed, their soft glow reflecting my commanding presence. The string quartet's violin hum falters, replaced by gasps from the crowd, their champagne glasses still. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and the weight of my sacrifices, $60,000 from my retirement, my art dreams shelved, fuels my triumph. The necklace in my pocket, a family heirloom I gave Jessica, is a symbol of the family I thought we had, now ready to be returned. Ryan's wrist grab and his shout, "You owed me," still sting, but I'm unshakable, my resolve a fire blazing for all to see. I hold up the letter, diary, and bank statement, my voice clear, cutting through the crowd's buzz. "They stole my savings for their failing business," I declare, detailing Ryan and Jessica's scheme to divert my wedding funds to Carter Ventures. Ryan, 35, his face ashen with desperation, shouts, "You're delusional!" His financial pressure is laid bare, his voice cracking. Jessica, 34, her pride crumbling, glares, her eyes furious. "You're embarrassing us," she snaps, her control slipping. The crowd gasps, the violin screeching as the quartet pauses. My heart pounds, but I'm triumphant, my words a blade. "This is your truth, Ryan," I say, locking eyes with him. I pull the necklace from my pocket, its silver chain glinting, my eyes fierce as I step toward Jessica. I hold out the necklace, my voice steady. "This was for family, Jessica. You're not mine." The chain clinks as I drop it on the table, and Jessica recoils, her face flushed with humiliation. Ryan storms toward the exit, his footsteps heavy, his 35-year-old frame slumping under disgrace. "You'll regret this," Jessica hisses, her voice sharp but broken, following him. Guests whisper, stunned, their murmurs a tide of shock. Hal, 58, embraces me, his regret over my sacrificed art career now pride. "You're incredible, Ev," he says, his voice thick, his arm warm around me. The crowd's applause swells, a wave of support as I stand taller, liberated. Truth redefines family, I think, my heart soaring. Lauren, 32, her loyalty a bridge over our past rift, grips my hand. "You did it, Mom," she says, her voice proud, her reconciliation complete. Diane, 56, her encouragement rooted in her own estrangement, cheers. "That's my Ev!" Her joy infectious. Mia, 12, my loyal granddaughter, claps, her eyes elated. "You're the best, Grandma," she cries, her love for my stories fueling her admiration. As the quartet resumes, Lauren leans close, whispering, "I got a bank alert this morning. Ryan tried to transfer more funds." Her words, a final twist, confirm their greed. I nod, my triumph complete, and announce, "My worth isn't your bank." Hal, Lauren, Diane, and Mia cheer, their unity a new family forged. Ryan and Jessica flee, their disgrace final, the applause drowning out their footsteps. Did I lose a son or find my strength? The question echoes as I clutch Mia's hand, her warmth grounding me. Lauren pulls me aside, her voice soft. "Let's start fresh, Mom. Just us." I smile, my heart full. The violin hum a gentle backdrop as I brace for a new beginning. Lauren's words spark hope. Just us. Can we rebuild without Ryan's shadow? I stand in my backyard, the twilight sky deepening over suburban New Jersey, a barbecue fire pit casting a warm glow. Fairy lights twinkle above, strung between old oaks, their soft hum mingling with the sizzle of grilling burgers. The air smells of charcoal and summer, a renewal that wraps around me like a promise. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and the triumph of exposing Ryan and Jessica's betrayal at the wedding reception feels like a weight lifted. My sacrificed art career, buried for decades to support my family, whispers of a new beginning. The necklace I returned to Jessica, a family heirloom, marked the end of their hold on me. Now, with my true family, I'm ready to redefine what family means. I arrange plates on a picnic table, the fire pit crackling as Hal, Lauren, Diane, and Mia gather. Hal, 58, his gray eyes soft with devotion, helps me set out drinks, his regret over my lost art dreams now a bridge between us. "I'm no one's bank now," I say, my voice light but firm, the memory of Ryan's betrayal, his theft of my wedding funds, still raw. Hal grips my hand, his touch warm. "I failed you before, Ev," he says, his voice thick, regret heavy from years of taking my sacrifices for granted. "You're here now," I reply, smiling, my heart full. The clinking glasses echo as Lauren pours lemonade, her 32-year-old face bright with loyalty. The sizzle of meat fills the air, and I pass plates, my triumph settling into fulfillment. Lauren approaches, her dark curls catching the fairy lights, a new photo album in her hands. Her guilt over our past rift, me missing her high school graduation for work, has fueled her reconciliation. "This is our family, Mom," she says, opening the album to photos of us with Mia, Ryan's absence deliberate. Her voice is steady, joyful, a commitment to our new bond. Mia, 12, my loyal granddaughter, bounces over, her eyes elated. "You're my hero, Grandma," she whispers, pressing a small locket into my hand, a photo of us inside. The locket clicks open, revealing a tiny note. "You're my hero, Grandma." My throat tightens, her love for my bedtime stories grounding me. "We're yours, Mom," Lauren says, her hand on mine. "Always," I reply, tears pricking, the album pages turning softly. Diane, 56, her joy rooted in her own reconciliation with her estranged son, raises a glass, her eyes twinkling, ready to toast. "To the Queen who reclaimed her throne," Diane calls, her voice vibrant, her encouragement a mirror of her own triumph over family pain. The cheers ring out, the fire pit popping as Mia claps, her hope infectious. "You're unstoppable, Ev," Diane says, her smile wide. I nod, my voice soft but sure. "I'm just beginning." I share my plan to join an art class, the dream I shelved for my family now blooming. The fairy lights flicker, and I feel fulfilled, the warmth of my chosen family wrapping around me. Family is chosen through love, I think, my heart soaring as the laughter fills the yard. Is family born or chosen? The locket's note glows in my hand, and I spot an art class flyer on the table, hinting at my next step. The locket's note glows in my heart. "You're my hero." My canvas awaits, a new life unfolding. I stand in the local art studio, morning light streaming through tall windows, bathing the room in a golden clarity that mirrors my newfound peace. The chatter of a nearby craft fair drifts in, vendors hawking handmade quilts and pottery, their voices a lively hum that weaves through the soft swish of my paintbrush. I'm Evelyn Thompson, 55, and this moment feels like a homecoming. For years, I sacrificed my art career, my dreams of vibrant canvases traded for Ryan's college bailouts, Hal's business ventures, Lauren's upbringing. Now, after exposing Ryan and Jessica's betrayal at the wedding reception, my heart is free, my strength a gift I'm finally claiming. The studio smells of turpentine and possibility. The paintbrush strokes a quiet rhythm as I paint, each one a step toward completion. The canvas before me captures our backyard gathering, Hal, Lauren, Diane, and Mia under fairy lights, their laughter a vivid memory of my triumph. The fire pit's glow, the clink of lemonade glasses, the warmth of their support, it's all there, in bold strokes of crimson and gold. I pause, my brush hovering, and think of the necklace I returned to Jessica, a family heirloom that no longer belongs to her. That act, dropping the silver chain on the reception table, severed their hold on me. I'm no longer their bank, no longer the invisible matriarch. My heart swells, fulfilled, as I dip my brush into a swirl of blue, the color of a clear Jersey sky. Diane Washington, my best friend at 56, leans against a nearby table, her dark eyes gleaming with pride. Her own journey, years estranged from her son, now reconciled, parallels mine, and her presence grounds me. "I found myself here," I tell her, my voice soft but sure, the paintbrush swishing as I add a curve of light to the canvas. She nods, her smile warm, sipping coffee from a chipped mug. "You're not their bank anymore, Ev," she says, her tone joyful, reflective. "You're their queen." The words land like a gift, echoing her own triumph over family pain. The studio hums with quiet energy. The craft fairs buzz a distant pulse, vendors calling out about apple cider and knit scarves, a quintessential New Jersey morning. I dip my brush again, smiling, my fulfillment deepening as I paint, each stroke a declaration of who I am. Strength paints the future, I think, my heart steady, the colors blending like my newfound clarity. Diane sets her mug down, the clink sharp in the quiet. "Heard from a neighbor," she says, her voice low. "Ryan and Jessica skipped town, left a trail of debts. Their absence, after their disgrace for stealing my $60,000 of wedding funds, feels like a door closing. Ryan's aggression, his wrist grab, his shout, 'You owed me.' And Jessica's controlling sneers are gone, replaced by this peace. "They're not my burden," I say, my voice firm, the canvas rustling as I adjust it. I focus on Hal, Lauren, and Mia, my true family, the ones who stood by me at the reception, their cheers drowning out Ryan's lies. "You won, Ev," Diane says, her eyes gleaming, her joy infectious. "I'm free," I reply. The craft fair's chatter, kids laughing, a vendor offering homemade jam, grounding me in this moment. The audience's satisfaction, their relief at my triumph, settles like a warm blanket. I step back, admiring the painting, its colors a vibrant echo of my heart. I think of Hal, his gray eyes soft with devotion at our barbecue, his regret over my sacrificed art career now a bridge between us. "I failed you before, Ev," he'd said, his hand warm on mine, the fire pit crackling. Lauren, her loyalty a balm to our past rift, me missing her high school graduation, gave me a new photo album excluding Ryan. "This is our family," she'd said, her voice steady, joyful. Mia, my 12-year-old granddaughter, her love for my bedtime stories making her my hero, pressed a locket into my hand, its note. "You're my hero, Grandma." A treasure. Diane's toast. "To the queen who reclaimed her throne," still rings in my ears, her laughter a spark. These moments painted on my canvas are my legacy, my chosen family. I return to the studio, my brush moving with purpose. The paintbrush strokes a quiet rhythm. The craft fair's energy pulses outside, a woman calling out about lavender sachets, the scent drifting faintly through the open window. I paint the fairy lights from our gathering, their twinkle a symbol of hope. My mind drifts to the years I spent pouring love into Ryan, only to be met with his text, "You won't be joining us." His betrayal, stealing my savings for Carter Ventures, his failing business, cut deep, but exposing it freed me. Jessica's complicity, her controlling "this is our day" at the reception, crumbled under my truth. I smile, the brush swishing, my fulfillment a quiet song. Diane interrupts, her voice gentle. "You're different, Ev," she says, leaning closer, her scarf brushing the table. "Lighter." I nod, my throat tight. "I gave up so much," I say, my voice soft, "but I'm not that woman anymore." I think of the nights I worked late, my easel gathering dust, to fund Ryan's dreams. The letter, the diary, the bank statement. They all led to this, a canvas where I paint my own future. Diane shares her own closure, her son's recent call, their tentative reunion. "We both found our way," she says, her smile reflective. The studio's light catches my painting, the colors bold like my heart. I step back, my hands flecked with paint, and think of Lauren's words at the barbecue. "We're yours, Mom." Her reconciliation, born from guilt over our past distance, is complete. Mia's locket, its note a beacon, ties me to her. Her loyalty, a thread of maternal love. Hal's support, his hand steadying me at the reception, has rebuilt our bond. I'm no longer the invisible matriarch, no longer defined by Ryan's cruelty or Jessica's control. The craft fair's chatter swells, a vendor shouting about fresh-baked pies, and I feel rooted, fulfilled. At home, I hang the painting in my living room, the hammer tapping softly as I secure it above the fireplace. The family photo wall, once torn by Ryan's hands, now holds this new memory, vibrant, alive. I reflect, my voice a whisper. My strength was my gift. The craft fair flyer on the table catches my eye, announcing my painting's acceptance, a symbol of my new beginning. Was my love enough, or was my strength the true gift? I smile, Diane's laugh echoing as she adjusts the frame, her joy a mirror of mine. I'm complete, ready for what's next. But as I step back, a letter slips from the flyer, its handwriting unfamiliar, hinting at a new truth waiting to unfold. The dawn light in my backyard, where Lauren's confession and Hal's awakening rooted my resolve, feels like a promise of healing. Ryan's betrayal, his cold text and hidden schemes, cut deep. But standing with my true family, I've learned my worth isn't measured by what I give, but by the love I hold. In life, family bonds can falter, yet compassion and truth can rebuild what's broken, just like our shared Sunday dinners or photo albums that hold our stories. If we listen with open hearts, we find strength in those who see us, even when others turn away. Love, like a well-tended garden, always finds a way to bloom again. If this story touched you, please share your own family memories in the comments. Your voice matters, and I'd love to hear it.